talking about things now, anal sex, oral sex, that you don't hear Christians, certainly don't hear pastors talking about. And it's not that I think some listeners don't partake, but certainly might not feel comfortable with their pastor talking to them about it. I want to, you have laid a scriptural foundation here in the book, and that might be important for the listeners to know, that this book is not just you going off giving your opinions about sex, but that you have laid a scriptural foundation for it. Can you talk a little bit about the theology of sex, and particularly sexual fulfillment in Christian marriage?
Again, it goes back to that core scripture in Genesis where it says they were naked and unashamed, which means that God meant for us to be in a place where we're naked and unashamed when we're married. The fall came, and then they were naked and hiding. And so through the redemption of Jesus Christ, he's trying, in that relationship, he takes us back to a place where we can be naked and unashamed, where the marriage bed is undefiled. In that Hebrew scripture where it says the marriage bed is undefiled. Then there's a scripture that talks about how it's sinful for a woman or a man to deny the other of sexual intimacy. Paul says that you ought not deny one another sex except by mutual consent, and that for only a short time, lest Satan come in and tempt you. It is sinful, it is abusive to withhold sex.
Sex is important to a successful marriage, in other words.
It's very important, and it keeps the devil out. Many times we want to associate the devil with sex, but what really allows the devil to get in is when our lust is unbridled and unchecked. Paul warns people that if you're not able to control yourself, being single, if you are going, he says, better to marry than it is to burn with passion.
Right.
A lot of times we use that scripture to say you're going to burn in hell if you don't get married. No, what he's saying is you'll burn up with lust. You'll forever be horny and lost in your horniness if you don't bridle that and put it in the context of marriage, if you don't take your sexuality and put it in a constructive constraints, which was only meant to be in matrimony.
We've talked about sex, and a lot of times I think people talk about intimacy as if it's sex. What is the difference, and how important is one to the other?
You know, somebody once told me that it's very easy for our society to get naked. You know, you got people, girls gone wild, you got the playmates and people on music videos with scantily clad, but it's very hard for us to get naked emotionally. When you're intimate with your mate, you're naked emotionally, you're revealing your thoughts, your heart, you're taking a risk to show who you really are, you're taking the mask off to show your true face. And that's very hard for people to do. A lot of married couples have sex, but they're not intimate. And so what we're trying to do in this book is to help people move to a deeper level of intimacy, to go within the person, to see their heart. And for a lot of people, they've guarded, they put up walls, they put up masks, because for whatever reason, they're afraid to show their true selves. Hopefully, through this book, we're helping people to pull off the sheets and pull off the mask.
Couples that have been married, not just newlyweds, couples that have been married 20, 30 years, been having sex, but have not been intimate.